Stop me if you've heard this one before, but Michigan has self-imposed a two-game ban on its football coach. This time it's Sherrone Moore instead of Jim Harbaugh, and it does have to do with the Connor Stallions SpyGate saga that just won't go away. But this suspension's different from the kind that Jim Harbaugh got. I'll explain it all and what this means moving forward. Locked On Big Ten starts right now.
You are Locked On Big Ten, your daily podcast on the Big Ten Conference. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman, 40 years as a sports talk show host and play-by-play announcer, and I want to thank you for making us your first listen each and every day. We are free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Hit that free subscribe button down below while you're watching so you don't miss a single episode. We're making a hard push to 20K before the start of football season goes. Thanks to you guys. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new customers can get $250 in bonus bets when your first $5 bet wins. So, Michigan sacks Sherrone Moore, self-imposed suspension. What's going on? Plus, recruiting wins and losses at Ohio State and Michigan. And who's the next AD at Michigan State? Plus, our Tuesday tweets right here. All right, Michigan football. They are self-imposing a two-game ban on head coach Sherrone Moore for ties to the Connor Stallions SpyGate saga that, again, just won't go away. It's kind of like trickling down as time goes on. In 2023, Stallions was on the Michigan football staff, and he was accused of masterminding the elaborate on-site scouting operation that was stealing signs and interpreting signals on the sidelines. According to NCAA rules, you can do that if you're watching film or TV and you notice something, but you can't go on site at your opponent's stadiums and spy that way in person. That's what he was accused of, or sending people to do it for him. Stallions, as soon as this story hit the fan, left Michigan in the middle of the 2023 season, their undefeated national championship season. And Stallions and then head coach Jim Harbaugh both claimed that Harbaugh never had any knowledge of any of this. However, Harbaugh was suspended the final 3 games of the regular season that year, including the Ohio State game. According to the NCAA, current head coach Sherrone Moore, who was the offensive coordinator back then for the Wolverines, deleted dozens of text messages between himself and Connor Stallions the day the SpyGate story broke. I believe it was Wednesday in October, if I remember correctly. It was a big deal. Those texts had since been recovered and handed over to the NCAA and reviewed. Since then, Jim Harbaugh, former defensive coordinator Jesse Minter, and defensive backs coach Steve Clinkscale have all been given show cause penalties, have been banned from ever coaching in the NCAA for different lengths of time. Harbaugh got 4 years, Minter 2, Clinkscale got 1, and all part of the SpyGate scandal. Now, it doesn't matter for those guys because they're gone. They're out making money working in the NFL for the Los Angeles Chargers. But athletic director Ward Manuel and coach Sherrone Moore, they're still in Ann Arbor. And they've been waiting for this other shoe to drop regarding Moore's status and whether the university will receive more penalties for SpyGate from the NCAA. We reported right here on Locked On Big Ten that Manuel had recently said that there'd been no news from the NCAA, and he had hoped for some sort of final resolution in the SpyGate matter with the NCAA by this summer so that everybody could just move on. I agree with him there. What is unclear is if the NCAA has recently had any dialogue with Michigan and Ward Manuel, and whether Michigan's move to self-impose this two-gamer on Moore was an independent, preemptive move by Michigan, or were they encouraged to go in this direction by the NCAA? That we don't know. But this penalty is different from the suspensions that Harbaugh received in 2023. You remember, at the time, Harbaugh was allowed to coach the team Sunday through Friday. He ran practice, film session, team meetings, business as usual, except on game day. He couldn't be on the sideline. This is much different. All right. Moore going to be away from the team and all team functions for 2 weeks. No practice, no film, no meetings, no coaching on the sideline. That's a lot different. That's a stiffer penalty, if you will, compared to what happened with Harbaugh. That's, of course, all that going on in addition to missing the 2 games. Can't be around the team at all. This might be Michigan's way of mitigating a much larger suspension that they felt the NCAA was going to come down with. Now, also note, Sherrone Moore's suspension will not take place the first 2 games of the season versus New Mexico and at Oklahoma. Instead, they're going to occur in weeks 3 and 4 for a home game versus Central Michigan, and then the team's Big Ten opener at Nebraska. I find that strange. I find that strange that Michigan will self-impose a suspension, but they're going to cherry pick which games the suspension is going to take place. A lot of reasons, too. Reason number 1 may be, hey, as long as they're in control of the games to be missed, maybe they want more around for those first couple games because their brand new 5-star true freshman quarterback, Bryce Underwood, going to be making his debut. And how weird would that be to make his college start? The guy's 17, just turning 18. All of a sudden, your coach isn't there. That's a little weird. That'd be a tall order for a true freshman to start a career without his head coach. But the real reason may be that the Wolverines, and then, they're taking on Oklahoma on the road at week 2. And it's a huge game. Number 1, going to get a lot of attention. And it's also Moore's alma mater. Sherrone Moore played guard for them. And I'm sure he didn't want to miss that game if he had a choice. Keep in mind, this suspension is self-imposed. That means the NCAA could still come back and demand more penalties for a longer suspension. There were some rumblings back in the day that Sherrone Moore could be facing a year-long suspension. That's out there. So those stories have kind of died down. Nevertheless, Michigan's trying to thread the needle here. Maybe some more serious stuff was coming down or is coming down. It's unclear who the interim head coach will be for Michigan in Moore's absence. Moore was the one who usually stepped in and filled in for Jim Harbaugh during his multiple suspensions. 6 games in total. Moore was the interim head coach, I believe, for 4.5 of them, if I remember how they divide that. Because Moore got suspended too during Burgergate for a game too. So we've been following this story closely for a year and a half here on Locked On Big Ten, and this is where we get a lot of passionate text messages on YouTube, a lot of hate mail. This is where people will call me a Michigan hater, Michigan deniers, just because I reported an actual story. I'm not a Michigan hater, couldn't be further from the truth. And this is also where the Buckeye fans start chirping up about cheating and they're getting what they deserve and all that. So have at it. Here they come. 3, 2, 1. Boom. You can count it down like clockwork. We welcome it here at Locked On Big Ten. Regardless of which side of the fence you're on, all your comments are welcome. So let's get everybody all fired up and do this. Meanwhile, always ask you to subscribe. It's free. You'll never miss an episode of Locked On Big Ten if you subscribe. It's there every day. We're here every single morning. We're making a push. We're this close to 18,000. We started with 1,000 like almost 2 years ago. Big push for 20,000 subscribers before the start of football season with your help. So go ahead and do that. If you don't mind, just click the button. Also, don't forget our website, talkbig10.com, number 10, talkbig10.com. All of our podcasts go there chronologically, and also we group them by school as well. This will undergo Michigan, in the Michigan category, if you will. And we have our website, talkbig10.com, where we also have links to merchandise. You want to buy some school spirit stuff for Michigan shirts, T-shirts, hats, all right there on Talk Big Ten. All right, more Big Ten news. Good news and bad news for recruiting. We're going to talk about Michigan. We're going to talk about Ohio State. We're going to talk about Washington. We may have a short list of candidates coming up for athletic director candidates at Michigan State, since they have an opening there. And also, we have our Tuesday tweets. All that coming up here in 1 minute on Locked On Big Ten. FanDuel and NBA playoffs are in full swing. Every night delivers highlight-worthy performances, major momentum shifts, can't miss moments. Whether it's a game-winning shot or a breakout player, there's never been a better time to get in on the action. FanDuel makes it easy to stay in the game before tip-off and live, of course. And with player props, performance trends, and same-game parlays, fans have more ways than ever to play smart and win big. You can find out which players in your mind are going to show up for the biggest games, the biggest moments, and you can track trends, help you build a better bet. That's all great stuff. And a $200 bonus in bets. Add the excitement if your first $5 bet hits. That's fantastic. So check all that out. If you're new to FanDuel, this is a perfect time to sign up. Head to FanDuel.com and place your first $5 bet. If it wins, you'll get $200 in bonus bets. Make every moment more with FanDuel, official sportsbook betting partner of the NBA. Thanks for making Locked On Big Ten your first listen each and every day, especially everydayers out there. Thank you. Meanwhile, hit that free subscribe button and share and follow like Locked On Big Ten, your team every day. Don't forget our website, talkbig10.com as well. So some more bad news for Michigan. This time on the recruiting trail, the number 6 rated running back for the class of 2026, Javian Osborne. He announced he's going to Notre Dame instead of Michigan. He's a 5'9", 190-pound running back from Forney, Texas, and already got a lot of miles on him, man. 4,500 yards in 3 high school seasons. So decided he wanted to go he feels that the running attack at Notre Dame is better than Michigan. He feels like he'll fit in better at Notre Dame. So be it. Wouldn't necessarily agree with that, but that's his choice. More changes at Michigan State. We reported yesterday how football coach Jonathan Smith's buyout got cut in half because the Spartans are making a change in athletic director, and he's got language in his contract that his buyout gets cut in half. It's down from $6 million to $3 million, and after December 1st, it's going to be down to $2 million. Now, the Spartans starting corner and Detroit native Dylan Tatum announced that he's transferring to Northwestern in a surprise move. He made his announcement within hours of walking across the stage at an undergrad ceremony where he got his degree at Michigan State. He's got a year eligibility left. Going to go to Northwestern. Speaking of Michigan State's athletic director job opening, Alan Haller's last day will be next week. Spartans Wire put out a list of candidates for the job. You know, what we do know is they're looking for more of a fundraiser, salesman type to lead Michigan State in the name, image, and likeness era and revenue sharing era. And they want somebody who can bring in some cash. So some interesting names on the list. North Carolina athletic director, Bubba Cunningham. He's from Flint, Michigan. He's got ties to Michigan State, Michigan State's new president. They spent time together at Chapel Hill. And so I found that to be interesting. We don't like Bubba Cunningham in the Big Ten, do we? Because it seemed like when he was in charge of the NCAA basketball selection committee, it seemed like North Carolina got the last spot in the tournament, not Indiana, right? Yeah, do we remember that? Yeah, Bubba Cunningham might be coming to Michigan State, maybe. Also, Michael Alford, Florida State, a frequent topic or name that comes up here on Locked On Big Ten. Florida State in the news. We talk about Florida State expansion. He's into the money side. He's been suing the ACC and trying to get out of that TV rights deal. Got Florida State a better deal. A lot of money flowing there at Florida State. That might be an attractive candidate for Michigan State as well. And then a couple other names on the list. And who knows? Mark D'Antonio, former football coach at Michigan State, and Tom Izzo, current basketball coach, he's 70. How much longer is he going to coach? He currently is the interim co-athletic director, Izzo is. So, and one thing I will tell you right now, D'Antonio and Izzo love Michigan State. They will do anything for the program. And if that means they be an athletic director, maybe they will. Maybe they will. D'Antonio jumped in. He was retired. He came in and helped out in the transition when Mel Tucker got fired. Tom Izzo's jumping in, helping out when they need an athletic director. Those guys love the school. They might be on the short list. Who knows? All right, let's talk some recruiting a little bit. We all love talking about recruiting here. So the Buckeyes landed a highly sought-after wide receiver, Caden Dixon-Wyatt, a 4-star for 2026. And the Buckeyes beat out Oregon and Alabama for his services. He credited his relationship with Buckeyes offensive coordinator and wide receivers coach Brian Hartline. I mean, who else? If we're talking wide receivers going to Ohio State, it's Brian Hartline. He's just got that pipeline. Buckeyes are also close to landing class of 26 running back Favor Key. He is from Delaware. He's visited Columbus numerous times from Miami, or actually, I know numerous times. And of course, Miami and USC we're also in the mix. And he's looking to make an announcement in late May or early June. So we'll see which way that goes. And we'll check that out. Also, that aside, no matter how that works out, the Buckeyes are ranked 1-2 in Big Ten recruiting with USC. USC's 1, Ohio State is 2 for class of 2026. The Trojans class is number 1 in the nation, Ohio State number 3. So they're really battling it out there on the recruiting field. So also we have an in-state win for Jed Fish and the Washington Huskies. Edge rusher Derek Coleman-Brusa announced his commitment to remain at home and play for the Huskies. Still growing, 6'5", 267 pounds. Fish says that Coleman-Brusa was the top player on their board. Then the Huskies are just thrilled to get him. Last year, he made 75 tackles, 19 tackles for loss, 14 sacks at Kennedy Catholic High School. So pretty good there. And Rutgers, let's get some update on their linebacker, Muhammad Toure. Remember him? Injured at the beginning of the year. He's in the portal, and there are a lot of people interested in him. He's been linked to Penn State and Indiana. Toure, when his health is good, he's pretty good. He led Rutgers in sacks in 2020 and 2023, but he tore an ACL in 2022, and another training camp injury at the beginning of the 2024 season was like a little loss for the year. I remember we did a big thing on him here on Locked On Big Ten. It was a pretty sad story. And finally, we have some Penn State news to share with you as well. Former undrafted wide receiver Julian Fleming signed a free agent deal with the Green Bay Packers, but he failed his physical. So he's had some hip and some back injuries, and that caused some concern for the team. And he played 1 year for the Nittany Lions after 4 years at Ohio State. Can't quite get the career on track. So an update there. Coming up, we got our Tuesday tweets. Those are always fun. Got a lot of great stuff out there. That's coming up in 1 minute right here on Locked On Big Ten. Upwork. Scaling your business requires the right expertise at the right time. With Upwork, you can find specialized freelancers in marketing, development, design, and more. Experts ready to help you take your business to the next level. Upwork gives businesses flexibility by connecting them with top freelance talent across multiple industries, including IT, AI, web development, and marketing. And whether you need extra hands for a project or a long-term partner, Upwork makes hiring simple and affordable. Helps you find the right talent. And for example, you need help with a marketing campaign, Upwork can connect you with a freelance expert who can deliver excellent results. Hiring is fast and is easy. It is simple. It is cost effective. Instead of hiring full time, Upwork finds affordable top freelancers to scale your business efficiently. Visit Upwork.com right now and post your job for free. That's Upwork, UPWORK, Upwork.com, Upwork.com to connect with top talent and grow your business today with Upwork. All right. We always love to have features here at the end of our podcast. If you're new, if you're an everyday, you know this. Tuesdays, we do Tuesday tweets. So let's put them on the screen here and take a look. You can follow us on Twitter or X at Talk Big Ten. And we'll put these on screen and talk about them here. All right. This is from Blue by 90. This was when the news broke. Breaking: Michigan suspending Sherrone Moore for 2 games this season as a self-imposed punishment in the advanced scouting case. There's a picture of Sherrone Moore and Connor Stallions. So breaking news from Michigan. We're going to have more on this tomorrow as well. We're not convinced that this is done. And we think the NCAA is going to be jumping in on this as well. Also, more news. This is from Sarah Rahal. I could have taken this from many sources, but news reports say that Michigan President Santa Ono is set to depart for the University of Florida this summer, pending their Board of Governors approval. He's their number 1 candidate. This tweet includes the letter from the president, Ono, saying he's leaving. There was no bigger supporter of Jim Harbaugh during the whole SpyGate situation and Burgergate than Ono. He always backed him, no matter what, through thick and thin. And I wonder if his decision to depart has anything to do with all this that's coming down with the rest of SpyGate. I'm not sure. What do you guys think? All right, let's see what else we have here. Of course, here's Swanky Wolverine. He thinks school president Tom Brady sounds good for the University of Michigan. Picture of Tom Brady. Tom Brady's got enough jobs between being a outspoken minority owner of the Raiders and, of course, his TV gig on Fox. More Michigan. A lot of Michigan here today. Here's a 13-3 win graphic over Ohio State. The Michigan baseball team from at Michigan Baseball bring out the brooms. Back-to-back rivalry series sweeps. Last weekend, they swept Michigan State. This weekend, they swept Ohio State. And one of the games was in 7 innings. Wasn't it 23-1? Yikes. Blowing them out. All right, we got let's move on for Michigan. Here's Michigan State. Yeah. Michigan State chief of propaganda. Spartan culture. This is Draymond Green arriving in the tunnel for a Golden State Warriors game, all decked out in Michigan State t-shirt, Michigan State sweats, Michigan State jacket. Looking good. Let's see here. Here is from On3. Ohio State's current 2026 wide receiver class is loaded. Look at all these. The 5-star and the 3-4 stars. Chris Henry, and of course, there's Chris Henry Jr., Caden Dixon-Wyatt, Jaden Ricketts, and Brock Boyd on the list, all coming in. And, of course, with Ohio State, Brian Hartline right there. And it's a picture of him. He's got these guys dialed in. He's got that pipeline for wide receiver. Here's 11 Warriors. Hashtag boom. 4-star 2026 wide receiver, Caden Dixon-Wyatt, committing to Ohio State over Oregon and USC, giving Brian Hartline yet another talented wideout in Columbus with a picture of Dixon-Wyatt. Loaded. More Ohio State. Here's a picture of Ohio State safety Caleb Downs from last season with his stats: 509 snaps, 0 touchdowns allowed, 52.6 passer rating allowed against him, 85% coverage grade, and an 86.4 run defense grade. Pretty good. All right, let's see here. We got another one from Ohio State. Oh, more with Caden Dixon-Wyatt committing to Ohio State. Here's a big announcement and a montage over the football stadium. The rich get richer at wide receiver. This was interesting. Take a close look at this. This is from at Joel Klatt Show from Fox. Here is his list post-spring football of the top 25 of college football. Look who he's got number 1. Look at that closely. If you're on audio only, you can. Penn State. Drew Aller, James Franklin, Penn State, number 1 in the country. Let that sink in for a minute. All right, he's got Texas at number 2, Ohio State at 3, and Oregon 4. So 3 Big Ten teams in the top 4. Illinois at number 10 on his list. Michigan 12. And also Indiana 21, Iowa at 23. So that's 7 Big Ten teams in the top 25. 3 of them in the top 4. Sure. Why not? I have a lot of respect for Joel Klatt. Watches a lot of Big Ten football. I like this. Lofty expectations for Penn State. Got to win it all, right? All right, let's move on from this. Oh, this is fun. This is Will Howard and Jack Sawyer in Pittsburgh, officially as Steelers. Both going to be Steelers this year after the draft. And then this is from at the Clark Report. So Caitlin Clark, part of the Indiana Fever, preseason exhibition game against Brazil. And it's at her old stomping grounds at Iowa, where she played. And in fact, if you look at this photo, look where she's shooting the ball from. She's still near the half court logo. It's pretty close. If she takes a step and a half forward, there's a little spot on the floor. That's her number 20. That's her number, her logo. That's where she hit a shot to break the all-time scoring record for the NCAA. And you can see she's shooting even further back. So anyway, that's pretty good. Pretty good there on Tuesday tweets. All right. Well, anyway, you can follow us on Twitter or X, and we'll post them every Tuesday here on Locked On Big Ten. Hope you enjoyed all those. All right. Don't forget, we're going to talk more about the Sherrone Moore deal tomorrow here on Locked On Big Ten. In the meantime, follow us, subscribe and follow and share Locked On Big Ten. And can't wait to meet with you again tomorrow. Tell your friends about us. We're here each and every day for Locked On Big Ten. I'm Craig Sheeman, and we'll talk to you next time.